Stephan Sterns and Jennifer Soto, those are the two that were entrusted with, parenting Madeline Soto as she was growing up all the way to the age of 13, where on the following day after her birthday, she was murdered, allegedly by Stephan Sterns. And the many years leading up to that, she was sexually abused by Stephan Sterns, and pictures were taken. It's a disturbing case. There's recently been interrogation video that has come out from the Kissimmee Police Department, showing Jen having that one-on-one with the officers and the detectives, and Stefan as well. Joining me to discuss, Shavaun Scott, psychotherapist and author. I have some clips here we're going to play, and they're mainly of Jen. But before we go to the Jen section, I want to talk about the Stefan section of all of this. He, of course, is the one that's been charged with the murder. It's no question about the sexual abuse. There's pictures of him with her, and just absolutely, horrible situations for a child. Um, what did you glean off of that? The video, by the way, is up on our YouTube channel, and you can hear it here on the podcast if somebody wants to take a listen.
My impulse impression about him is, again, he's not very smart.
No.
He's not very good at this. And he really thought that his attempt to wipe his phone, do a factory reset on his phone, that was going to eliminate all the material that he had stored on his phone. And, he's stupid,
Yeah.
but also very narcissistic, that he really thought he was going to get away with this. A very sloppy, horrid crime. And, apparently he had manipulated his way through life enough with other people who weren't really holding him accountable that he thought he was going to get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, his parents have they're in many interviews now talking about it. They pretty much throw him under the bus. They're like, he's pretty much dead to us. Which I applaud them for that. Call a
Hmm.
spade,
Yeah.
even if it's your kid. And it's just shocking. I mean, this guy seems to have always kind of been, an idiot. Of course, there was a traumatic brain injury, supposedly at a young age, being run over by a vehicle, I believe, twice.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that could cause some damage. But clearly, he was functional enough to live a life, go work, and do those sort of things. I know a lot of people have been pointing to that traumatic brain injury at that age. Does that have anything to do with thinking it's a good idea to molest your girlfriend's,
Yeah.
10-year-old daughter?
No, it wouldn't produce a pedophile,
No.
right? That's other stuff that's very hard to understand and very
Yeah.
complicated. And we may never completely understand the sexual wiring and how it gets miswired in certain people and how
Yeah.
much does biology have to do with that. It's not figured out. But we do know that a very large percentage of people who are in prison for violent crime have had a traumatic brain injury. Sometimes they've had more than one traumatic brain injury. So I think what we can say about that is it reduces impulse control. And so people who have, let's say, dark tendencies, antisocial tendencies, if they didn't have the TBI, they might be able to restrain themselves and cope better. But when you throw the TBI in, you get a person who doesn't control their impulses, and they may lose some IQ points from being run over twice by a truck, the second time directly over the head. So I don't think that did him any favors in life. And it certainly is, if we were looking at evaluating him, that would be a significant contributing factor.
What did you make of his calm demeanor throughout the entire thing, even when they finally came to him? Because they led up to it. They were trying to see what they could get out of him.
Yeah.
And then they finally were like, "You're under arrest." And you
Yeah.
want to know why? Why? And then they told him for the child pornography on his phone, and that they knew it was Maddie, and he's still just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
enraged, wasn't there was nothing. It was just like you
Nothing.
told him, like, "Hey, we're having Burger King for lunch."
Yeah, and that again speaks to someone who's not quite normal.
Yeah.
There's just so much that's off about this guy, but he's highly manipulative. He did try to come up with a response for everything they asked him,
Yeah.
but they were not believable responses in any way, but he didn't seem to have a clue about that. The only time I saw his mood change was after the handcuffs and when he was being photographed.
Yeah.
And then it looked like he was having kind of this oh shit look,
Yeah.
this I didn't pull it off this time.
Yeah, clearly he was caught. It's a disturbing video. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.